Hey everyone, welcome to Pink Tutu Tarot. Today's reading, we're looking at a change that's coming in for you in your life, or a shift that is about to happen, and what that means for you and what you can do to help initiate and move through this shift. So I've got three groups for you, three readings. Group one, your card is the High Priestess. I'll hold that there a sec so you can get a good look at the card. Okay. Group two, your card is the Hierophant. Okay. And group three, your card is Strength. Okay. So all you have to do now is go down into the description box, click on the timestamp for the group you want to watch, and we'll take you straight to your reading. Thanks, y'all. Hey, group one. All right, we're going to take a look at what change is coming into your life, or what shift is about to happen. Your initial card here is the High Priestess. I'll leave that there. We're going to pull some additional cards, and then we'll jump into it. Pulling some Lenormand cards now, and then we'll get some tarot down as well. Okay. All right, your first card is the Lady. And then we have the Heart. Okay. That's your Lenormand, and let's get some tarot cards now. Put these up just a bit. Make sure you can see everything. Okay. We have the Moon in reverse. The Page of Cups. And Justice. And one final card as an advice card for you from Spirit. And your advice card is the Seven of Cups. Okay. All right, give me just a minute. I want to take these cards in, and I'm going to listen for some initial messages for you from Spirit, and then we'll talk through everything that's going on here. Okay, so bear with me one sec while I listen. They're telling me that this change that you're going through, or this shift that is coming in for you, is a very personal shift. They're telling me you're going to be, you're going to start seeing the world in a different way. You're going to start seeing your life a little bit differently. You're going to change how you do things, how you see things, how you perceive things. And it will actually end up changing who you are in some way, if that makes sense. You've been through lots of trials, you've been through lots of challenges, and you've learned a lot through them. You know, they may not have been fun, but you got through them, and you internalized some lessons through each one of those challenges. And now it's time for you to sort of take all of those lessons that you've learned and incorporate them into your life in a new way. And that's what's coming in for you. It's this sense of changing how you see the world, and allowing what makes you unique, what makes you different than others, to shine and to outshine the other areas of your life. Kind of, it's like the challenges you've been through, the difficulties, all of these things are, they become much smaller in your life in a way. And you outshine that, if that makes sense. This has been a long time coming, they're saying. This has been a long time coming. And it may not feel like, as you're hearing this message right now, it may not feel like this is a big change, but it's actually one of the biggest changes you've gone through in your whole life. So I guess pay attention. All right. Okay, they want me to start with the Lenormand cards. We may jump around a bit here. So you've got the Lady card and the Heart. Well, let me just listen to what they want to say. Okay, what they're giving me here with this Heart card is you're looking at yourself here. Even though in this card it's actually a man and a woman looking at each other. But that's not what they're wanting to highlight here. You're going from looking at the past, looking at, and this isn't gender specific, it's just the card they gave me, looking at the past, looking at where you've been, what you've been through, how you've changed, and then looking at yourself differently, seeing yourself differently, living your life differently, really in a big way. Now, this may have a spiritual component to it for those, light workers out there that are watching, but it doesn't have to. It can be very down to earth. It can be very real. You no longer want to be the person you used to be. And there may have been a time when that wasn't the case. When you looked back and thought, oh, I wish I could still do this or be there or enjoy that part of my life again. You are coming to a time when looking back, you'll look back, there are fond memories, there's good times, there's people and places that you enjoyed, but it matters a little bit less to you going forward. Not to say that the memories and those people don't matter, but there's no longer this longing, this looking back, wanting what you used to have. Instead, you're appreciating what you do have, and you're making a whole new path forward for yourself. You no longer want what you used to have or want what you used to want. You now want something, or what's coming for you, this change, this shift that's coming in is a bit of a breakthrough for you, because you realize that what you want for your life going forward is so much more important than where you've been in the past. And it really does shift and change everything. Okay. All right. So they want to talk here about the High Priestess card. They're saying your life, the shift that's coming in for you will be very much kind of black and white, believe it or not. And they're highlighting these posts on the High Priestess card. They're saying there will be a before this moment and an after this moment in time for you, like as a big shift for you, as a big turning point in your life. And the shadow side of you, the side that was filled with regret, with doubts, with guilt, with shame, even like a lack of self-confidence, of belittling yourself, all of these bits of darkness that kind of hovered around you in the past. Not to say that that's how you were all the time, but there were these bits of you that sort of existed around you in the past. That's all shifting, and you're moving into the light, and you're seeing things with so much more clarity. You're going to be they just said you're going to be a much happier person when this shift completes, when it takes place, because you're no longer dwelling on the darkness. You're focusing 100% of your energy on the light, on the good things, being grateful for what you have, knowing who you are and where you're going in your life, or where you want to go, and letting go of the regrets and the guilt and the doubt and the insecurities that kind of plagued you in the past. Okay, so jumping into the tarot cards, your first card is the Moon reverse, and this represents kind of what you're letting go of. And this is a place um, of darkness, um, of not knowing where you're going or why, of questioning who you are and what you want for your life. There's a lot of fogginess here. There's a lot of doubt here. There's a lot of confusion here. Um, and there's a lot of emotion here attached to those things. And these are things that you know, you may not realize it now, but in the future, you may look back and realize that you were hanging on to those things a little bit too tightly because they gave you a sense of self, but it was a false sense of self. You know, hanging on to the the hard things we've gone through. Yes, they helped create who we are, who you are. They helped create who you are in a sense that if you hadn't gone through those things, you wouldn't be this person you are today. But you're going to be letting go of that a little bit. It's like in the past there was this hanging on to the hard times a little bit too tightly because you in some way created a sense of self from them. And where you are now, you know, the energy that's opening up for you is this Page of Cups, and it is seeing things differently. You know, if you notice on this card, he's sort of looking up, and his feet are in the sky. You know, where they're cut off here at the bottom of the card, they're actually up in the sky, and so he's seeing himself differently, starting to contemplate what makes you happy, what brings you joy, and putting all of your attention there. And it really is a talking to yourself. This isn't coming from anyone else or any specific circumstances in your life. It's not that your whole life is changing and all these happy things are suddenly going to happen to you. It's that you suddenly realize all the things that make you happy and you start pursuing them rather than latching on to the hard times and the regrets and the doubts and the guilt. It really is changing how you perceive yourself and your world in a much more positive way. And then where you're heading into is the Justice card. And I think it's beautiful that, you know, obviously your initial card is a major arcana, but where you were and where you're going, also major arcana cards. Like they said, this is a major shift point for you. Even if it doesn't feel like it at the moment, you will look back and realize that, wow, like my life, who I am, who I thought I was, completely changed after that point in time. And that's what's coming for you. This Justice card is creating more balance in your life, appreciating the good and the bad, right? The darkness and the light, but focusing on the light. Appreciating where you've been, yes, but no longer hanging on to it. Your emotions are much more balanced. Your perceptions are much more balanced. And you start to get more of those good things. So the things that you are grateful for, the things that you are happy, that make you happy, when you start focusing on them more and more, you start to get more of that. More of what you are worth shows up in your life. So there are positive, tangible things on the way to you. They're not telling me what those things are because it's sort of up to you to decide, especially in this reading. Excuse me. You get to choose what makes you happy. It isn't the universe handing you something and saying, just wait, this is going to be amazing. It's you are actually doing the work here. You are actually changing the way you perceive your life. You're making decisions for yourself about what makes you happy and what brings you joy and what you want more of in your life. Never mind the things you don't want. Never mind the things that make you unhappy. Let those go. You're going to be letting those go, and you're going to be focusing your attention on the joy. And you start to get more and more of those things in your life. It becomes a major, major turning point for you. A major turning point for you, group one. And the advice for spirit here is the Seven of Cups. Pay attention. What makes you happy? What brings you joy? What gives you a sense of self that is positive, that is optimistic, that recognizes and values your own worth? What makes you happy? Pay attention Make some choices for yourself. Look around your life and start paying attention to those things that do make you feel good, and you're going to start seeing more of them show up in your life. But what they're giving me is that you've gone through so many lessons in your life up to now, regardless of how old you are. Doesn't matter. We all have different paths, different journeys. But wherever you are in your life right now, you've gone through hell and back. You have. You've had the dark night of the soul. You've had the difficult times. It's now time when your whole perception starts to change. And yes, some of it is intentional, and some of it is just a long time coming. You know, it's been on its way for a long time, and now it's actually manifesting and becoming your reality. You're changing what you think, how you perceive your world. And as you do that, your world starts to change more and more for the better. You start getting what you deserve. You start getting what you are worth. You start getting more of what makes you happy. And it's really wonderful. It's really wonderful. There is joy, there's happiness, there's love, there's gifts on the way for you. But it's all coming from a place of shifting your perception and how you perceive um, what you have and what you want in your life, and letting go of the past. Yeah. All right, group one, I hope that helps. I hope it gives you some insight into what's going on for you right now, what is shifting, because I'm sure you can sense that shift coming. If the video resonated, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me know that our energies are connecting. It also will help future readings resonate for you more, because we will be more connected. Every time you interact, we get a little more connected. And of course, it helps the channel as well get these videos out so that more people can find the messages, the readings that they're meant to hear. So I'm grateful for all of that. Thank you for your comments, your likes, your subscribes. Thanks for being here. And if you'd like to book a private reading, you can check out my website at pink22tarot.com. Thanks, y'all. Bye. Hey, group two. All right, today we're going to take a look at what change is coming into your life, or what shift is about to take place for you. So your initial card is the Hierophant. I'm going to set that there. I'm going to pull a couple of Lenormand cards and some tarot cards, and then we'll jump into your reading. Okay. Your first card is the Fox. And then we have the Letter. Okay. And some tarot. Your first card is the Hermit. We have the Two of Wands reversed. We have Justice. And one more card that is your advice card from Spirit. Your advice card is the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Okay. All right, give me just a sec. I'm just going to take these cards in and listen for some initial messages for you from Spirit, and then we'll talk through everything that's going on here. Okay, so bear with me one sec, y'all. The first thing they're telling me is that in some area of your life, you're going to be creating a following. People are going to start paying more attention to what you do, what you say, how you say it. out of respect. It's not like watching you and judging you or gossiping about you. It's not that kind of paying attention. It's people start to realize that you have something to say or something to teach them, and they want to know more. Now, this could be in your work life. It could be that you start earning more respect and more acknowledgement in your job, where people really start paying attention, and and you sort of create a following in that way, and that they not to say they don't respect you now, but they really start to earn an even a new respect for you. So it could be in the workplace, it could be in a private endeavor you're going through, or that you have in your life. Sorry, um, it could just be your family and friends who just want to know more about what you have to say. Now, I am getting that many of you are either on, I know obviously you're all on social media, but you may have your own channel, a YouTube channel or other social media channel, and as a hobby or as a career. And they're saying that may be taken up a notch, where the level of followers increases exponentially. Okay. For those of you who aren't, that isn't your reality. Again, it may be a work situation um, where your boss, your coworkers, management in general, higher ups, customers, even depending on what your business is, they start to pay more and more attention to you because they're realizing that you have a unique perspective. You have something to say. You have something legitimate to offer that they want to know more. It's like you're teaching them something, even though they may be higher up than you or equal to you. There's something they want to learn from you in some way. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Or again, it could just be your family and friends paying more attention to your own personal philosophy, or the way you see your life, the way you see life, the way you do things. They want to know more. And they start coming to you more for advice, for guidance, for insight from you. Okay. So take those areas, let it fit where it falls, and we'll jump in. Okay. Yeah, okay. They want to start with the Hierophant card. And they're saying this is all about teaching and learning, and people trusting who you are, what you have to say, and what you have to offer. There is a level of trust here, and it's not, yes, it's you trusting in yourself to be able to open up and speak your truth, to speak whatever it is you have to say. Because again, I'm getting that what you have to say is in some way slightly different than what the masses have to say. So you may have a slightly different perspective about what you do in your work or whatever it may be. You have a slightly different perspective, or possibly a very different perspective. But the trust that they're giving me, yes, you're learning more and more to trust yourself, to put your voice out there, but they're giving me that more and more people are going to be trusting you. They want to hear more from you, and they're trusting your words. They're trusting what you have to say. Some of you may even be, because they're giving me a strong message of writing. Now, that won't be for everybody, but they are giving me this message of writing your thoughts down, writing whatever your guidance is, whatever it is that you are working on, and people reading your words. So many of you will be, of course, it'll just be verbally, but for many of you, it will be written down. You may be writing articles. You may be writing a book. Some of you may be doing speaking engagements, that sort of thing, where you have masses. Because I am getting a lot of people shifting some of them will be shifting their perception of you in a positive way, or shifting their perception to you. In other words, right now they're looking elsewhere for whatever it is they want to know, or who they go to for advice, guidance, input, their attention is going to shift toward you, okay? All right. Okay, so your Lenormand cards here, we have the fox and the letter. Let me just hear what they want to say here about this. They're telling me with the fox that you've been waiting. You've put in your time. You've been learning. You've been growing. You've been educating yourself. You've been getting more and more experience in something. And you've been waiting for the right time to maybe put it out there in a bigger way. And they're saying that time is now. That shift is, I'm getting it's happening now. Where you're moving away from the waiting, the focusing entirely on, I want to make sure I know as much as I can know about this before I start putting my opinions out there, before I start putting my thoughts out there, whatever it is that you are working on. This shift is changing and you're going to start putting it out there. And that's what this letter is representing. It's your words, whether they're written down, they're spoken, they're verbalized in some way. Your words are opening up. They just gave me opening up. So you may have been either waiting to say something or keeping the visibility of the things you want to say very private. Or you've been contemplating, maybe you've been writing something and you haven't put it out for the public to read or for work people to read yet. Or you just haven't written it yet, but that day is coming very, very soon. Your confidence level is rising and your ability to manifest this situation is reaching a peak. That's what they just said, is reaching a peak. So very soon you're going to have the confidence to put yourself out there, put your thoughts, your words, your advice, your guidance, your input, whatever it may be for you, put it out there in a much bigger way, to launch it in some way in your life or your work. And people are going to be listening and paying much, much more attention to what you have to teach them, to show them, and what they have to learn from you. Okay. All right, so your first tarot card here is the Hermit, and this represents sort of what you're letting go of, what you're moving past as this shift takes place in your life. And again, it's a card of trusting your own guidance, but keeping it very much to yourself. You've learned a lot. The Hermit, by the time the Hermit comes out of the cave, comes out of the darkness, they've gained so much experience, so much knowledge. They've gone within and probably taught themselves many things, as you may have taught yourself many things, or you've taken classes and gone to school, whatever it may be for you. You've educated yourself or gotten the education and the experience you need. And soon you're going to move out of the darkness, out of this solitary energy, and you'll be moving into a much more public role. So this is kind of what you're letting go of. Where you are now, or where you will be very, very soon, is this Two of Wands reversed energy. Now let me just hear what they want to say about this. Hold on. They're saying you're no longer wavering about when should I put myself out there. When the Two of Wands is upright, you're thinking about things, you are considering options, you're looking at what you can do in the future, but you're not taking a lot of action toward it. It's a more waiting energy. When it's reversed, what they're giving me is that the wait is over. The time is now. You're ready to get started. And you should kind of know that already. If you haven't gotten started yet, you know in your gut that you're ready. You're ready to try. You're ready to put yourself out there in a bigger way, to put your words into action, to put your experience into action in some way, and to put yourself out there, to get off the bench and get moving. And then as this shift happens, where you're headed is the Justice card. It's a big change. It's a big change. And it's interesting. It's very, obviously you saw me shuffle the cards and, pull them randomly. But group one also had the same situation where you started and where you end here are both major arcana cards. So there may be some similarities for you with group one. You may want to watch group one as well. But it does indicate a big shift. This is a big, before and after kind of moment. Things change in a way that when you look back on it, you can go, wow, that's when everything changed. That's when things really shifted in a big way for you. This is not a small shift. This is a major accomplishment for you. And you start to get what you deserve. In a big way, they're giving me. In droves. You're getting people paying attention to you. You're getting people wanting to know more. You're getting the attention that you need to get your thoughts out there. People start following you. If it's in the workplace, people start to respect you more and want you involved in decision making in a much bigger way, because your opinions, your insight, your experience is so valid and so valuable that it's almost like they don't want to make a decision without you in some way. So you become a much more integral part of the hierarchy in your workplace, for your job. For others of you, like I mentioned, your social media following, if you have a platform where you discuss something or you put something out there, that's going to advance phenomenally, really that's the word they just gave me. Exponentially. It's like this snowball that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that starts now. The minute you get off the fence and make that change and start putting yourself out there, and you're there, that's what you want to do, and you're ready on some level. Once you do, that shift comes in a big, big way. So your advice card here is the Wheel of Fortune reversed. I just want to hear what they want to say about this card, so bear with me one second. They're telling me their advice for you is not to worry about when it will happen, how it will happen, what you need to do to make it happen. The wheel will turn all on its own. It will, in a big way, at exactly the right time. It is coming. That's why you're getting this reading now. That's why you were drawn to this, because it is imminent now. As soon as you start taking the steps you need to take it, stop being the fox and waiting. It was the right thing to do before now, but now it's time to put yourself out there. But don't worry about, okay, should I do this? Should I do that? Is this the right thing? Is this what's going to get them to notice me? Don't worry about the details. Just do it. Put yourself out there. Some things will catch on, other things will not. You'll gather that experience, of course, as you go, and you'll be able to fine tune, where not where your expertise lies, but where people perceive your expertise to be. You'll see that shift happening, and you'll move in that direction as you go along. But don't overthink it right now. Don't try to make it happen. It will happen all on its own. And you will see a big difference here. You've got too many major arcana cards for this not to be a major shift for you. So recognize it, appreciate it, do what you know you have to do to get that ball rolling. The universe will immediately step in and assist you and help make things happen so that you've done the right thing. It's going to change for you in a big way once you do. All right, group 2, I hope that helps. I hope it gives you the nudge you need to get started. If this reading resonated, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me know that our energies are connecting, helps future readings resonate with you even more. It helps the channel get out there so more people can find the readings and get the messages they need to hear. So I'm grateful for all of that. It's all wonderful. Thank you for your comments, your likes, your subscribes. If you feel you need a private reading, a one-on-one just about you, check out my website at pink22tarot.com and you can see my availability for readings there. All right. Thank you so much, group 2, and have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, group 3. All right, today we're looking at what change is coming in or what shift is about to happen in your life. Your initial card here is the Strength card. Leave that there for now. I'm going to pull a couple of Lenormand cards, pull some tarot cards for you, and then we'll jump in and see what shift is coming. All right, your first card is the Snake. And then we have the Key. Get some tarot down. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. And the Page of Swords. And one more card as an advice card for you. And your advice is the Nine of Cups. Okay, give me just a second, y'all. I just want to take these cards in. I'm going to listen for some initial messages for you from Spirit, and then we'll talk about everything that's going on here, okay? So hold on one sec, y'all. What they're telling me is that in some way, and this relates, of course, to the Strength card, but what they're giving me that this change is coming in for you. It's a shift that you're going to start, you are going to start feeling stronger in some way. Now, this may be a very literal way in that you're going to start getting into shape physically, more physically fit, stronger in general. Your health and wellness improves dramatically, you know, in a big but positive way. It's like you start to take control of your health, of your wellness, of how your body functions, you know, to the best of your ability. Now, for some of you, it's not about your physical fitness, but it's about feeling strong in other ways. There may be something that you feel has been crippling you in the past, a weakness maybe that you have, you know, something that you're giving me like coping mechanisms, temptations. You know, it may just be, you know, for instance, for an example, some of you may find that when your emotions get too strong, when things get too difficult or stressful, maybe you smoke too much, maybe you drink too much, maybe you eat too much, maybe you shop too much. You know, maybe it could be any number of things. Some of you, it may be gambling. There's something that has weakened you, that has brought you a feeling of weakness, not so much in the moment, but afterwards when you look back and you're regretting it and you're thinking, oh, why did I give in to that again? They're giving me that you're going to start taking control of whatever this thing is that has been weakening you, that has been affecting you personally, and probably your life as well in some way, in a negative way. It's been affecting you. It's been limiting your potential in some way, or how you see your potential. It's been holding you back. But the shift that's coming, and it's taking place very soon, where you start to make progress. You start to really make a difference in this area of your life and to start seeing some dramatic changes here. that's happening very soon, and it will end up changing your life in a pretty big way. Okay. All right. Okay. So they want to start with the strength card here. They're saying where this shift begins is with you being more compassionate with yourself. Allowing yourself to look at whatever weakens you, and it may be your physical body, your physical fitness. Maybe you're not as fit as you want to be or as healthy as you want to be. Or again, it may be something that a temptation that you tend to overdo. That makes sense. You're going to stop beating yourself up for not being perfect, for not being able to resist, or not being, what you want to be in some way, or how you want to be in some way. You're going to stop beating yourself up. You're going to be a little bit more compassionate with yourself. This little bit of self-love goes a long way toward creating this transition. And they're saying you're ready for it. You're ready for this now. In the past, you had a hard time being compassionate with yourself. You may have even thought, if I beat myself up, then maybe I'll learn my lesson. You're trying to be your own tough love teacher in some way. But that didn't work, did it? No. So you're going to start being more compassionate with yourself, more loving toward yourself, more understanding of your past, what you think of as mistakes. They were all lessons you were learning, but now you're ready to make that change, to start doing things a little bit differently. Okay. All right, so your Lenormand cards here, you have the snake and the key. They're giving me, in the past, you would lash out at yourself. You'd be so angry at yourself whenever you made a mistake, whenever you slipped up and didn't do what you wanted to do for yourself. You gave in to temptation. If you're working on your health and your wellness and your fitness, maybe you didn't go to the gym, maybe you didn't go for that walk, maybe you had one too many sweets, whatever it may be. But you would lash out at yourself, beat yourself up over it, make yourself feel absolutely terrible for what you did, how you acted, what you gave into, or what you didn't do. But again, that's changing. And then you have the key, which means, first of all, the key to making this change, to getting into and through this transition, it starts with self-love. It starts with compassion. It starts with just forgiving yourself. And that's really where the healing begins, when you just say, wow, you needed that at the time, or you felt you needed that at the time, or you did the best you could given what you knew and what you had in front of you and what you were capable of that time. I'm not going to be mad at you. You're saying this yourself. I'm not going to be mad at you. You did the best you could in that moment. But now we're going to do things a little bit differently. That's where the solution comes in. That's where the key that unlocks that door comes in. It starts with self-love. It begins in a place where you are accepting of whatever in your life makes you feel weak. If it's your physical body, you just say, okay, well, this is where my body is right now. Or this is what I needed in the past to help me cope with different situations. And you're healing from that. This love you're offering yourself heals those parts of you that needed to rely on food or alcohol or whatever it may be. Overeating, overdrinking, excuses for not doing what you wanted to do, you needed to do, but you found reasons not to. And it's okay. The solution lies in you accepting where you were and just agreeing to transition into a new version, into a new path, onto a new way of doing things. All right, so in your tarot cards, your first card is the Page of Pentacles reversed. And this represents sort of the energy you're letting go of, what you're moving past. And this is an energy of feeling out of balance, right? If you notice on this card, I'll put it up right so you can see it. This person is standing on one leg, holding the pentacle, perfect balance, not a wobble. What you're letting go of when this card is in reverse is that wobble. It's, whenever you had a bad day, you would overeat. Whenever you were feeling lonely, you would overdrink. Whatever it may be for you. It's these wobbles that would hold you back in some way. And you know this. But you're moving past this energy, this imbalance, this not feeling 100% within yourself. Okay? And where you are now, or the energy you are about to step into, kind of in the immediate, near future, is this Two of Pentacles reversed. And this is the ups and downs, the yo-yoing. It may be for some of you, yo-yo dieting, binging, and then starving yourself. Working out like a crazy person, and then, not doing nothing. It may be, times when you gave up drinking and then you binged. So it's this back and forth of trying really hard to do the right thing, to be good, to do what you want for yourself, and then slipping back into old habits. You're ready now to stop that juggling, to stop that back and forth, that yo-yo, that really good one day, falling off the cliff the next. It's an energy that will wear you out, and I'm sure you recognize that. That's why you were feeling so out of balance, so out of whack, why you're not feeling like your best self. But that energy, you're in a place now where you can focus on what you need. Not what you want in the moment, but what you want in the long term. What you need to do, what you need to focus on, how you need to act and react in the moment in order to get where you want to go in the long term. Okay? And then where you're headed here is the Page of Swords. Now, give me just a sec. I just want to hear what Spirit wants to say about this. Hold on. They're talking about you're going to be, as you move into and through this transition, this shift in your life, you're going to be learning more and more about the behaviors that were crippling you. You're going to be reading up on it, and it's going to be educating you in some way to where, in fact, at some point, you may be a voice for other people going through the same thing. You may be able to teach them, advise them in some way on how they can get through it, as you will have done at that point. You're going to be changing the way you think, of course. You're going to be changing the way you talk to yourself and to others, of course. But they're also giving me this energy of the things you learn through this process and the things you accomplish and the way you grow from it. You may end up becoming a voice for others who are struggling the way you have been struggling up till now. And it will help them. It will help them if you choose to do that. It's not something you have to do, but you will have the ability to do that if it's something you want to do. But at the very least, you will have learned a lot yourself, and you will have accomplished a great deal yourself, and it will be a turning point for your life in that way. Okay? And your advice card is the Nine of Cups. And Spirit's just saying, focus on what you want for the long term, not what you want right now. Allow yourself to believe you can have what you want in the long term, that it's not impossible, that it's not going to take a lifetime to achieve, that it's not out of reach. Trust that if you want it badly enough and you take steps to get there, that it will arrive. Because dreams do come true. You have to believe it. You have to believe it. and know that you want it. And you're getting this message. You were brought to this reading and to this group for a reason, because there's something in your life you are ready to change, and you're ready to start feeling stronger and more in control in some way of your own life and your own body and your own decisions. And it will change how you feel about yourself. It won't change your worth. You're already worth everything, but it will change what you feel your worth is. Okay? So believe in it, and focus on what you want in the long run versus what's just going to make you feel better in the moment today. But like they said before, it all starts with trusting yourself, loving yourself, being compassionate with yourself, forgiving yourself, and allowing that part of you to heal so that you can move forward as the stronger, more capable, more empowered version of yourself that is waiting for you right now. And it is. All right, group 3, I hope that helps. I hope it's what you needed to hear. And I hope you got the messages that were meant for you to receive. I hope you received them. You heard them and internalized them so that you can move forward. If the reading did resonate with you, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me know that our energies are connecting. It will help future readings resonate with you more and more. The more you interact with the videos, the more our energies connect, the more it's going to start feeling like a personal reading. It also, of course, helps the channel get out there so that other people who need to see these readings, need to get these messages, they can find them as well. And that's just due to, the algorithms of YouTube. So thank you so much for being here. If you feel you need a personal, private, one-on-one reading just about you, you can check out my website, pink22tarot.com, and you'll see my availability, and the readings that I offer are there. Right. Thanks so much, Group 3. Have a great day. Bye-bye.